Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Please, let's wait for some few people to join, then we can start the program. Thank you. Hello, welcome to today's forum. You are warmly welcome, everyone.
Thank you.
Sorry for my background. I don't know if you can hear the music. I'm somewhere there's a lot of noise, sorry. So let's pray. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for your love, for your care, for your protection, for your guidance. Thank you for bringing us together again as your people, to listen to this, to our speaker. Help us in our walk in this life. Please bless our meeting and see us through. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay, so for today we have our speaker in our midst. Her name is Mrs. Rita Adoku Agyen Takyi. She's a senior advisor and international development expert with a demonstrated history of working in the communication, international affairs, law, and diplomacy. She is an experienced She's experienced in gender inclusion, human rights, women's economic empowerment, education and skills development with a focus on innovation. Madam Rita has over 14 years experience in leadership roles and leverages cross-sector knowledge, skills, know-how as a proven leader with experience in government, public, business and non-governmental sectors, as well as working with multidisciplinary and multicultural teams. Rita is a Christian and fellowships with the Church of Pentecost. Can you all help me welcome her as she comes to speak on development, how to develop personal development, thriving in any space. Kindly unmute and welcome her, Madam Rita, to our midst.
Hi.
Yeah, most welcome.
Woo, 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 woo.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm always wondering where the camera is.
Hello.
Whether hello.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, can everyone hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much to Pastor Elias and to all of you. Pastor Elias for bringing me here. To all of you for making time this afternoon to join me in a conversation about how we can thrive in any space, leveraging on personal development. And I'm very sure a lot of us all have an understanding of what personal development is about. There's so many dictionary meanings and others, but personal development in the simplest form is a continuous journey of self-improvement, growth, and mastery. So basically, it's how we are improving ourselves, which is going to obviously lead to our growth in whichever areas we need that growth in, and also make us masters of our craft, businesses, careers. One of the things I would like to say is that I used to work in an organization. I was there for years before I left. And it's, in Ghana now, whether you like it or not, whether you're even in a private institution or your public institution, you find that politics play a very key role in that. And in that organization, regardless of what, you can feel the presence of politics there. Means you need to show some sort of alignment and other things. And here I was employed under the leadership of one political party. And then I have been in the system for quite some time. And then there's a new leadership from another political party, and you need to align. If not, you are not going to progress. So for about 10 years, I was stuck on a level. Obviously, nobody wants that, especially when you know that you are giving your best. You feel that a time has come, you need to move up the career ladder. That is for those of us who are in the career spaces. But there was a time that I felt like, okay, you know what? Politics or no politics, I need to be able to grow in this space. And so I wanted to actually focus on myself and say, okay, what is it that I personally can do to move this process forward of getting recognized or getting promoted or being valued for the work that I was contributing to the organization. And that brings me to the word intentional. So I want all of us to ponder over that. So try to get the dictionary meaning of intentional or intentionality. I think is basic. It is doing something on purpose, being deliberate. So I decided I was going to be deliberate about my personal development, what it is that I could do that will propel me to the kind of success, recognition, or growth that I needed in my career. And so I started talking to older people in various industries, in leadership roles, which had nothing to do with, the work that I was doing, but they were in leadership roles. So I was talking to them. I was engaging with a lot of people. Of course, I'm a student of the Bible as well, under the leadership of Madam Ajua and Torin Cancer. So of course, you are also studying the Bible, and there are so many other nuggets and things I can pick from there. So getting all this information from various sources, and I realized that there were some key areas in my life that I needed to focus on if I wanted to grow in that space. And so I'll just mention them and then I'll take us through. One of them was image. Image. I needed to be intentional about my image. 2, skills development. Skills development. So you've been to school, you've gotten your degree, or you have a certificate, or you have some sort of, academic recognition in a field or something. Does it end there? So skills development. Networking or interpersonal skills. Communications. Community or volunteer work. Mentorship or coaching, seeking out mentors or coaches. Visibility. Relationship with God. Partnerships and commitment to excellence. These were some things that I told myself that I was going to focus on after all the various, it was a time that I actually took to reflect on my life and how I felt stuck in a space. And like I said, talking to people, seeking out information and things here and there, you realize that you can't solely put the blame on the organization. Yes, it's a political organization. Yes, you have to show that you are aligned somehow so that your progression can be easier. But at the end of the day, you yourself, what are you also doing to thrive in the spaces you find yourself? Business spaces, if you're an entrepreneur, or a professional space like a career, if you're in a career. So now that brings me to image. Image, and you'll be shocked to know that regardless, no matter what, people actually would look at you before anybody listens to you. Before you even open your mouth, people have sized you up already, whether you like it or not. I volunteer for Bible for teenage service at the church, and there are times they call me to talk to them. So you go and stand in front of them, and you'll be shocked to know that the kids will size you up from your head to your toe, look at your shoes, your whatever, before they even listen to what you're saying. And when you're done, they're excited. Oh, madam, you wanted it. But bottom line is, once they do the madam, oh, you're looking, I'm asking you, so what did you hear? This, that. You realize that, yes, maybe they like what they see, so they are listening to you. All that I'm saying is that I don't know if we have some men here. I see Pastor Elias. Yes, but for women, I want us to be mindful of the fact that regardless of whether you are the type say that, as for me, I don't really care, or me, all that's important is I can deliver, I can do the work. Oh, let me just go about and do this. Let me grab something simple and go. Yeah, you can be a very simple person. It doesn't matter. I'm one of those people, I hardly do my nails. All because I grew up in a home where it was not done. And then when I started having kids, it was just so uncomfortable. So I wouldn't do it. So the fact that I don't do my nails also doesn't mean that I'm going to neglect other aspects of my appearance or something. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to be very, very intentional about your appearance, your image, regardless, before you open your mouth to speak. My current boss now, who is a mayor of Accra, was also a member of parliament. And she said that even in parliament, for the women, when they are speaking, people are not even interested in what you are saying, but they are watching you. The next thing, somebody writes an article about you and talks about how sloppy this MP is. Did you see how she was dressed? Or this and that. Can she be a member of parliament? So you're thinking, but I got there because people put me there. I got there because I think maybe I'm smart, or I got there because I think I can contribute to something. But regardless, people are actually watching you and judging you by your appearance. And appearance too, I would say, immediately you meet someone, it's your image, first impressions. So why don't we make it count? Make sure you are intentional about how you yourself, you are appearing in any space you find yourself. You are going for an interview. Obviously, you cannot wear mini skirts, or wear even, I feel like you're going for an interview in, let's say, the Attorney General's office, and you wear your jeans and your t-shirts. How do you think people are going to address you? So regardless, make sure that whichever space you find yourself, whether you're in your own business, we can be doing my sister like this. My sister is also in confectionaries, cake and other things like that, baking and all those things. And times when I visit her at her workplace, this lady has shuddered. I'm like, hey, now so Uber life is I'm so free. But then I realized that people were even treating her better because of how she was dressed, even before they taste her cake or they taste whatever it is that she's doing. And she was like, say Mejuma, me ba me for I talk to people, I speak to them. Of course, I can't come and say, oh, because I'm baking, I come and my hair is all over the place, my face is a mess, I look really a mess. They're going to say, hey, Nani Humpo no keeping no neat, then how much more the food that she's making for us. So my sisters and my brothers here, image is key in any space. If you want to be noticed, if you want to be listened to, if you want people to pay attention to you, if you want people to remember you and say that, oh no, that lady, oh, that gentleman, can we get him on board this? It all starts with appearance. How you yourself, you are treating yourself, how you want to be addressed. That is how they are going to address you. Let us be particular and intentional about our appearances, our image. That brings me to one of my favorite points, is skills development. There's so many times that we become complacent. I've been to school, I've done this, I have this degree. If I tell you now how many, I'm currently been doing another master's, you'll be like, now this girl to why? But it's not just about the school or anything. I'm talking about the skills that we are getting. It's not about going to school and getting certificates. And you'll be surprised. I think this particular master's I'm doing is because of the knowledge that I want to get. It's not about the master, because you have another master. So in case you are going to apply for a job and they say, okay, the requirement is that they want somebody with a master's. Of course, you have master's, so you qualify. So why would you go ahead and go and do another master's or do something else? Sometimes it's the knowledge. It gets to a point we don't even realize that we need knowledge. We need a know-how to do what we do. I initially used to think that why are pastors going to ministry school? I didn't used to understand it. It's a calling. God has called you. Obviously, it started from Sunday school, or maybe you got to a point somewhere. There's something about you that made you a pastor or a leader of a church. And then I hear that they are going to ministry school. I used to be confused. So what do you think they are doing there? Of course, they are getting knowledge. They are getting knowledge. They are building up their skill sets to be able to impart, to be able to also, pour something into us. So yes, it's a calling. Yes, every other I see whatever it is you've been through. So your experiences and everything else also comes into it. So yes, that's why maybe they get to where they are and they're able to lead churches and lead ministries and other things. But yes, they still go to ministry school and they are building up their skill set. And so in your skills development, it's not just about the certifications, but it's about what knowledge you are acquiring to help you do your work or your craft better. My sister was passionate about baking cake. For as far as I'm trying to put my thoughts into words, but for as far as I can remember, or for as long as I can remember, this lady started baking when I was in primary school. I think she was in JSS or something, was making wedding cakes and things, and she had never been to a cake designing school. And she loved it. She was the one that would help my mom bake cakes at Christmas. My mom realized that I'm supposed to be the one leading this baking of the cake and all those other things. And this girl suddenly started taking the lead and do. So you can tell that it came natural to her. That she's somebody who really was born to be baking or to be making some sort of food for us. But you think that was all. So obviously your parents see that you have that skill. In this day and time, if I say, go school, now choir lawyer, now your marketing degree, and then you become a doctor, or you are a communications person, you are a pharmacist. I mean, all those things. So nobody will really push you to do that. So therefore, concentrate. They get you a classes teacher, pass your exams, do this, do that. So this lady did all those things she had to do. JSS, SS, finished, did a degree in marketing, started working in the marketing space, but she came back to baking cake. And when she decided that this is really my calling, this is really what I want to do, my career call, this is really what I want to do, she decided to go to school to go and better her craft. And you realize that once you do that, you are not only being innovative and meeting times. I'm sure a time will come. I was telling a friend that time will come, you sit in your car, then your car will start speaking to you and tell you that, oh, hello, Rita, welcome. Where can I take you today? Then you'll be speaking to your car, oh, take me to Accra Mall. Then your car will tell you, oh, Rita, today looks like your temperature is not really, is up, is over the roof. So I think you should get yourself checked. That is the AI level. And I'm thinking that with the way the world is going, our time will come and things like that will happen. So if you get stuck in your space and you're not developing yourself, you're not building your skill set, you will fade into oblivion. And so my sister decided to go to school to go and learn the craft proper. And when you do that, you're attracting customers. You know how to now even serve people. You know how to retain your customers as well. And obviously you've bettered your craft because now you are doing it better in a way that you didn't used to do when you were just relying on your passion. So I decided to be intentional about building my skill set. I took certificate courses at that time. And then the time also came, I was like, no, this was not enough. I took 1 year off work and I went back to school, studied and stuff, because I wanted to make sure that when I presented myself as a candidate for a position or for progression, nobody would tell me that we don't think you can do this. And also, even with my background as a legal person, you'll be surprised to know that the department I found myself in was a communications department. So even though I tell everyone I'm a communications practitioner, yes, because I've done communications over the years. I've never been to school to study communications, but I honed my craft through all the experiences and stuff. And then eventually when I was like, you know what? Because I kept hearing this phrase where they were saying that, as for this position, looks like she qualifies, so her personality and other things, and you can tell she's sharp and her writing is also good. But, she doesn't have a communications background. So we can't really promote her to the head of so and so or to do this. I kept hearing that, people, when you're being considered for something, people are, whispering here and there. You get to hear like, oh, now it's like I'm doing the work, but I'm not being recognized. I said, okay, fine. I'm not, if I think I'm committing to the work, but you think I need to do more, then I'll also do more. So I secretly took certain online courses and stuff like that to better my craft. And then I also looked out, which is something else that will come in, but I'll mention it now. And then I also decided to seek a mentor who was in the communication space in a different industry, completely different from where I found myself. And she gradually started taking me through leading in a communications settings or in department. And all these things paid off eventually. So please, your skills development is something that you cannot ignore. Don't be complacent and say that I have this, I have that. And it's all not about getting a certificate. When I was seeking out the mentor, I did not go and pay to get a certificate from this mentor. This is somebody who took me under her wing and was teaching me. And that is another way you can get your skill sets. And it will also take me to another thing that I was going to talk about, which we'll talk about, which is volunteer work or community work. I think it's actually next on my agenda to talk about that. Yes, even in developing your skills, you can volunteer to work somewhere. I mean, give whatever skills that you have, but you'll be surprised at what you also get out of that volunteer work. So in being intentional about your personal development, volunteer work or community work is very key. What are you doing in that space? Are you just sitting there every day going to work and coming and thinking that everything is fine? If you volunteer to do something for someone in a community, maybe in a hospital, maybe in another industry, even in your church, whatever, do you know what you are getting out of it? You are practicing your leadership skills. Here I was aspiring for a leadership role. And nobody would leadership role. I'm thinking that, and they keep saying, oh, she doesn't have any leadership experience. So how do I get leadership experience if I'm not being given the opportunity? Okay, I'm going to get it from somewhere. So I did all the volunteer stuff. I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm in all this, doing this. Some of my friends, I see them here, will say that we don't know how you do it because we see you do a lot. I say yes, but all those things were helping me building my skill set, making me who I was. Some of these experiences, volunteer work, you'll be surprised at how you expand your network, which is also something we'll come to, how you expand your network, the people that you come into contact with from different backgrounds, who might eventually even be the people that would recommend you in
Hello, please, can you hear me? I think the speaker has gone off. Please give her some time to rejoin.
Okay. I thought it was my network.
I hope we are putting down our notes and questions. You have to be intentional about your growth, your own personal growth. Be intentional with your appearance, how you look. That's the first thing people judge you about. Wherever you are going, have in mind you are going to meet people, and these people will look at your appearance first before you speak to them. And the second is we should develop our skills. Whatever skill you have, don't think you are done with university, masters. There's always room for improvement. There's a saying that you never cease to learn till you are dead. You have to keep on developing yourself. And the next thing is volunteer work. Are you volunteering in your area you live, or you just go to work and come back? Let's ponder over what she said so far and hope she joins soon. Please hold her.
hello. Hello.
Lady Rita, we are waiting for you.
Oh my gosh. So let me tell you, Ghana, my motherland, the power went off.
Oh, sorry.
My Wi-Fi also went off. I had to put it on. I'm so sorry. So I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, where were we? We're talking about, I think, building we're talking about community
Volunteer work.
Yes,
Yeah.
volunteer work. So our volunteer work, regardless, apart from the fact that you'll be contributing to something worthy, you'll be giving your time and your resources to a worthy cause, which is very gratifying. I'll be honest with you, it's a very gratifying feeling. Even if you don't have confidence, the fact that you're even able to do something for someone, for somebody, even builds your confidence up. And so community work is very, very important. So you're struggling with confidence at your workplace, go and do community work. You'll be able to build your confidence there. You're building your leadership skills. You're expanding your reach, your network. So people can get customers even from there for their businesses. People can actually also get people who eventually recommend them. Some of the fellowships and things that I end up applying for, the people that recommend me are not even people like an employer recommending me, or or a school, like your school, your lecturer recommending you. But these are some of the people that I meet in spaces like that, who can speak to some skill sets that you have. So you'll be surprised at how these things help us in our quest to thrive in any space that we find ourselves, be it business settings where you are doing your own business, or be it in a company setting, or in a career, or on a career path where you're working for someone else, contributing your skill set, your work. So when I was contributing to the work, I started out as joining courses that would help me better my communication skills. So you see me writing, so I was writing articles that were being published in the newspapers. I was doing media relations, where I am prepping some big person to go and do interviews in the media. I'm drafting synopsis that will guide this person to go and do that interview. I mean, I'm drafting press releases. These were all things that I learned even outside of the workspace. When I went back to my workspace, or let's say when I was ready to tell them that, you know what, you're going to give this position to me, I had been able to acquire a lot of, knowledge and skills that was actually helping me do my work. And you cannot ignore some of these things. Sometimes it's so glaring, it's in your face. When you are very intentional about something, every step you take is deliberate, and people can't help but notice the changes in you. I have had personal issues over the years, and I'm a Bible study student under the guidance of Madam Ajua. And then, when you're talking to her and stuff like that, you pour out your heart, you tell her all the problems in the world that you think are so huge that you don't know where to go. She would always, always, always take you to the Bible and to your prayer life and tell you what to do. And the funny thing is, once you start being intentional about your Bible study and your prayer life, that transformation that actually befalls you yourself, you cannot comprehend it. And once you yourself, you cannot even comprehend it, imagine the other people around you, those who come into close contact with you. Imagine that you think they are not noticing. They notice. It is glaring. It is in your face. There's some transformation going on inside of you, but the people around you can see it. So when I went out there to go and do my part to society at that time, now I'm talking about it as like an advantage, something that you can have. But at that time, when I was going out there to do some of these things, I never knew the benefits that was even going to come on me. So you are doing community work. Oh, sorry, now I call, sometimes you've done your work Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, you are committing your time and resources to something else, and you feel like, oh, when you're shrinking for someone here, these people need me, let me go and do what I can. You won't know at that time what these things can do for you. But it is after I had done these things. Now I do a lot of volunteer work. I've done this over the years. I'm realizing the kind of things that even me myself, I get out of it. I'm like, oh no, this is actually a nugget that we should all be mindful of if we want to progress in any space that we find ourselves. So yes, you are building your communication skills, you are building your skill set, you are contributing to the greater good. And, but all these things also eventually come back to help you. Like I said, you glow. Things that happen with you, eventually, these are some of the things that bring you out. You might not even know. Now, another key thing that we have to talk about is communications. I will start with those of us that find ourselves in career spaces. Communications. Let me start with the written one before I go to the oral one. So sometimes before you even talk to somebody, something you have written is in front of them. People are going to seek for jobs and they've sent their CVs. They say, write your personal statement, bring your CV, then you send it. And they judge you on that piece of paper that you brought. And I'll be honest with you, I've had opportunity to sit on some panels recently and I've reviewed people's applications. And when you when you do something, do it with do it as if you are doing it unto the Lord. So how can you send something like this that is so sloppy? Your own CV, you can't even put it together. You can't even construct your sentences. So how is a person who is judging you or who is assessing you based on your, that's the proper word, assessing you based on what you have put in front of them? How are they going to tell that, oh, this is somebody that I want on my team, when what you have even brought is terrible, full of grammatical errors, your sentences are all over, you don't even know what you are talking about, you cannot even communicate these things on paper. So one of the things that, if you really want to thrive in a space, this communications, written communication, very, very intentional about it. Be very intentional. Your grammar, your tenses, and all those things should be on. But if you've forgotten some of these things, now addition there, oh yeah, Google, so she is, they are. Yes, you need to know those things. You can't write she is, they is, and all those things. So I'm trying to say that your written communication, it is very, very key, regardless. If you're sloppy about it, even in your business, you go and write something and without even noticing you've done that, because maybe you yourself, you didn't even, pay attention to what you've written on your receipts and other things. So in communicating or in communications, your written communication is very, very important. People assess us regardless of whether we like it or not. Say, my bang, oh, I can do the work. So why are they concentrating on what I'm writing? Please, it's important. Make sure you pay attention to what you write. And even what you write will even help you with how you also speak, with how you present yourself, how you present your thoughts. Because whenever I've been called to do maybe a panel discussion or something, I put my thoughts down on paper first. And you see that when your thoughts are on a paper, you even know you flow. And I'm sure we also even get a deeper understanding of the things that we are learning when our things are on paper. And so if you are developing anything, or you are presenting a case or anything at all, and you are not able to do that because you have not been intentional about building your communication skills, it will go a long way to affect you eventually. And then orally, of course, yes, if you're writing well, eventually it will translate to you speaking well. But for those of us who do our own businesses, communications, that also brings us to how we relate with people. Says that our speech should be seasoned with salt. So even in our working spaces, in our businesses, you go there and somebody comes to you, yes, you are stressed. Honestly, this past week has been very, very stressful for me. I get to work, the first place I put my bag and sit down, I don't get up again. And it is like back-to-back computer work, stuff like that. Like, yeah, this is even detrimental to my health. By maybe there's work that I have to do. So you can tell I'm so busy doing stuff, and people keep, in the next minute, you see somebody has not, and they've entered the other, oh, Madam Rita, or someone to say, oh, Rita, can you check this for me? And because I'm so stressed, I just maybe look at me and say, like, you know what, can you go and come back later or something? You can imagine how that weaving will come back to haunt you, and you are not even aware. That person that you just shrugged off rudely like that, do you know how that person could have even impacted your life in a way? No. So at every point in time, our communication, make sure that you are communicating your intentions, your plans, your ideas, your presentations. You are putting them out there in a very coherent manner. You are explaining yourself well to the people, and you are making sure that whoever you are speaking to understands what you are saying, and you are leaving room for them to also communicate back, give you feedback and other things. So don't just go there and be a one-way person, and then they'll say that as for Rita, she likes to hear herself speak. So you allow her. And meeting here, call your cananu to muna, yes, you can't be and who say, it was like this or was like that. Forgive me when I speak vernacular. Sometimes I express myself better as well. And these days too, yes, we are promoting our mother tongue. So sometimes here and there, we try to push it in, But sometimes I speak my mother tongue and I feel like I'm a foreigner speaking it. When I'm speaking like this and I feel it's coming out well, I'm happy. So forgive me if you're hearing me bringing my mother tongue. But what I'm trying to say is that let us communicate very well. We can't be rude. We should make sure that our thoughts are aligned with what we want to say. You're speaking well. You're hearing the others. You're allowing them to, to also speak back. You are listening to them, and I mean, you are building that kind of relationship through your communications, and it helps in our businesses as well. That's how we get repeat customers. If your customers are coming, sometimes people will ask for my sister's number, I give it to them, and they will send her inquiry messages and things, and she's not responding. The people will come back and say, I tell my sister that don't think that technology, you see, I don't know for our and relationships. People communicate. Somebody tells you, maybe I miss you, and then you go and put something else there or an emoji there, and the person misinterprets it and is upset, or we need to talk, and somebody looks at it, hey, we need to talk is a big deal. Meanwhile, maybe we need to talk is because you probably even want to share your day with that person, or you want to talk about something that's bothering you, but we need to talk. Now I ask them, because it's behind technology, people can't see you, they can't hear you and stuff like that, so they can interpret it anyhow. So if people are sending you messages as well and you're not responding in real time, and you are delaying, you are losing customers. So I had to go back to and say that you have to make sure that your responses are also like this. And that is how you get repeat customers. So we might think that, oh, communication, we are just saying be intentional about how you communicate. Be intentional about it. Put your words out there well. Respect people's views. Give them opportunity to also give you feedback. Talk to them in a polite way. Even when you are upset, find a way of expressing that, feeling in a way that at least you don't end up stepping on people's toes or burn bridges. Mentors and coaches. You can start your business and you realize that at a point in time, it is important that you talk to somebody, or you go under somebody's wing to be able to better your craft. The Bible wants us to learn from older women so that at least our lives can be better. They can share their experiences with us, especially we the women, share their experiences with us. I think that is olden day way of mentorship, the Bible days. And here we have now looked for some nice word, mentorship, brofo, to say yes, you see, and go and seek out a mentor or go and seek out a coach. That's what the Bible was trying to tell us. I think that Jesus' disciples, Jesus was mentoring them. Apostle Paul, all the people that he was dealing with, he was mentoring them. So this one is an old age craft. And so a time will come when even here, even in our own settings, I would say Madam Ajua in Tori in Cancer is mentoring us. So if in your craft, in your business, at a point you realize that you are stagnant somewhere, where in your crime, you can be 50 years and go and seek somebody's guidance to help you in your career, in your business, even sometimes in your homemaking affairs, in your marriages and stuff like that. Even people seek mentors and coaches to help them their marriages. They admire somebody whose marriage is going well and everything. The way maybe that person and the partner relates and like, oh, I really want this. And they get closer to that older person who also takes them under their wing and tells them, your husband comes home, he says this in a very rude language. You don't have to retort and give that response. You need to do this. So even in that space, people are seeking out mentors. So how much more not us also we find ourselves in professional spaces? Why are we not seeking out mentors and coaches to help us hone our craft and then build ourselves up to for maximum impact in our working and professional spaces? And we can look for them in so many areas. Man, you'd be surprised. I used to read about this lady in the newspapers all the time, watch it on TV, and I was like, no, this lady is good with what she was doing. And one day I had an opportunity to attend an event that was being sponsored by a friend of mine, and lady was one of the speakers. My friend knows me to be the bubbly type. So as for Rita, the opening pass, so she can. So when we're done, I was like, I have a crush on this lady and I really want to interact with her, possibly let her mentor me. She was like, go ahead and talk to her. But come and see me shivering and standing there. And this behavior of mine, I do it even in the workspace. As soon as an opportunity comes, I mean, when I was reached out to even come and speak, the first thing I wanted to say was, oh, the notice is short. The first thing usually is to run away from an opportunity is what I do. They will come and call me at the workplace that, oh, we need you to be on a panel. We need you to do this, we need to do that. And then even in the space, the team that I work with, I'm the only lady apart from my boss. All the people that works with her, they are all people that work with her, they are all men, and I'm the only lady. So even opportunities come, and the first thing is to cringe and say that, oh, can't you let this person do? Can't you let that person do it? And so what I'm trying to say is that I'm sure I've lost my thoughts. I mean, I'm talking about the mentorship. Okay, yes. So my potential mentor was at that event. I wanted to talk to her, and I was practically, shaking. I couldn't go. So my friend dragged me like this and sent me there and said, oh, hi, Madam Susan. So my friend here wants to talk to you. So see me in some little girl voice, introduce myself. And the lady was so nice. We exchanged numbers. And that was 2019. And till date, she's still my mentor. And is helping me in so many other areas of my life. She's a godly woman as well. So you can imagine, she will not just sit down with you and go through your professional stuff with you. She will preach some hard word to you as well, that you, by the time you leave her presence, wow, what feeling, that kind of thing. Recently, we did a plan, a 5-year plan that we did, and I saw that 70% of what we set out to do, we've been able to achieve it. So I sent her a message and I said, it's time we sit down and look at what we set out to do, because I think we've been able to achieve most of them. And she was really excited about it. And that meeting has been scheduled for some time next week. So what I'm trying to say is that regardless of whichever age you find yourself, 40 years, 50 years, if you feel that you need to thrive in any space, you want to improve a certain area of your life, it's not a crime to seek out a mentor. And you can seek a mentor in so many spaces. It can be from our school alumni group. It can be from industries that you find yourself in, that you can approach the person with confidence. Tell the person that this is what you do. I want to be your mentee, or I want to be your protege. And maybe this is what I can also do to make sure that this relationship is a bit mutual. And so it is important that in developing ourselves personally, if you think that a certain area of your life is lacking, you can always seek out a mentor or a coach. Now, that also brings me to partnerships. One of the books I'm reading now, I'm not done, is Disruptive Thinking by Pastor T.D. Jakes. And he's talking about disruptive partnerships. But even before that, I had started analyzing the ways by which my career has progressed, and how maybe some things might look, how some relationship of mine have thrived, gone well. I've spoken to other people, and they didn't even know that partnership was one of the things that had helped them in their business and stuff. So after all those discussions and stuff like that, the key things that I picked out was that, at a point in your life or in time, you need to seek out strategic partnerships. So you're a legal person, your friend does something, or somebody that you know is also in a different industry. You can help out by reviewing a contract for that person. In turn, the person also gives you something that they can also offer you. That's a barter trade. It is partnership. So sometimes, in order to move forward, in order to thrive, which strategic partnerships are you building? Who can do something for you? And what can you also do for that person in a mutually beneficial way? And how can that partnership help you thrive? So I want us to think about it when we are done with this, and start seeking now some strategic partnerships that will help us in our various endeavors. A key thing that if we had forgotten about it, would have created a huge issue for us is networking and interpersonal skills. I listened to this lady who used to work, one of the few ladies working on Wall Street in the US. And there are two things that she keeps saying. I listen to her. She always talks about career progression and stuff like that. Listen to her. And one of the two things that she said, She said, in any space you find yourself. She said, in any space you find yourself, there are two currencies that you use to trade. I mean, she calls them currencies. Somebody will say principles. Somebody will say maybe tips or whatever. But what she's trying to say is that there are two key currencies, or two things that you do. And she says the people currency and the skills currency. You've gone to school and you've done all the plenty things. You see Ajua with her calling right now. Imagine that she's a Bible study teacher, and she doesn't even have anybody. She doesn't even have people to preach the word to, or people to even mentor, or people to bring on board. And so you can imagine, I mean, you can't just have the skill and be there. What do you use the skill for? You need the people currency to be able to move on with your skill set. So you have a skill. So what all that she's trying to say is that There's the people currency, which is the networking skills or the interpersonal skills that you need. And then there's obviously the one that we've already discussed, building your knowledge and all those things. Now with the people currency or the people skills, all that we are talking about is you need to get to know people. Please, whether you're an introvert, you're anti-so, whatever, this is not the time to be anti-so. You need to know people. And it's not just about knowing people, but do they also know you? So in the boardroom, who is making a case for you? They are sitting there and they're thinking about who they are going to promote. And then your name should come up somehow. Is there somebody there who can say that I have worked with Rita? And that is one of the things that worked for me before I left that organization. Eventually, I got the needed promotion that I needed. It's so funny. I get it. I do whatever. I pay my dues for a few years and then I run away. But yes, of course, everybody has a plan for their life and their career. So, and with God's guidance, when opportunities open, you grab it and you take it. But when I was at that place and I felt stuck, a time came when my name was mentioned in the boardroom. And of course, the topmost person and a few other people said that no. So the time came when the very direct boss I had could not dim my light anymore, could not sit on my promotion anymore, because I had become visible. I had built my skill set. I had networked up, down, cross. And so, to me, if I mean share I was shining bright. So my name came up and said, oh yes, I worked with Rita on this. Oh yes, she's the one that this. Oh, she wrote that publication for me. Oh, she did it. And then I got that promotion. So how are you building your network? It can be from your industry. So you are in the cake designing or confectionery space. You can build that kind of relationship from there. You need to get to know people. It can be from your school alumni. It's so important, but we don't really understand how that helps us. But our old school associations and things, most of our colleagues and seniors and juniors have thrived in so many spaces. So how are you even contributing to your old school association? And what relationships or networking are you building from there? In your own organization, what are you doing? Do people know you? Are you volunteering to help people do their work? A time came, and these were all part of things that made me visible. A time came when every time somebody writes something and they are going to send it to the boss, they'll bring it to me. Oh, Rita, can you edit it for us? Oh, Rita, can you review it? And these people were my peers. Eventually, when I was promoted, I became their supervisor or their manager. But they felt I deserved it because they knew how I had contributed to their own professional, success. Oh, Rita, do this for me. Then I do. Oh, Rita, do. Oh, I sit down. We do this. We do that. So eventually, when the time comes, and that again, of course, God factor is there. When the time comes, nobody can do anything about that. Your networking, very, very key. If I say come and today we are attending this diplomatic dinner and whatever, and I take you with me, don't go and stand there and put your hands by yourself like that and sit there. Me, by the time we leave, I would have gotten 3 contacts already. So if I take you with me, that come and let's attend this networking dinner at so and so embassy, and you go with me, please, when you go and talk to people, interact, tell them the businesses you do, share your call cards, let them know you know something, listen to them as well, build that kind of rapport. You will see how it will help you in whichever space you find yourself. So you are not just going to network in your organization. That is key. You will network in your organization, but you will network outside of your organization. You will network in your alumni group, in your church, wherever space, worthy woman, wherever you find yourself, go and network. Do you know what Thelma might be doing, or Roberta is doing, or Jifa is doing, or MFI is doing, or Benedicta is doing, or Juliana is doing? Please go and network. Ajua keeps telling us this is a fellowship, women professionals that have come together from different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds. Then you come there, you sit there, we do events, adorned and things. Then you go and sit there, singles, bloom. Then you go and sit there. We are now far back now, Kofi. And then you think that what? Please, I'm telling you today that networking is very important. Social skills, interpersonal skills. I'm stressing on it because I know the kind of doors that it can open for us. You'll be shocked that that person you met years ago will be that person you are going to meet again, who is going to be a deciding factor in your current space to help you thrive. Networking. Very, very important. Commitment to excellence. Now, wherever you find yourself, don't just go and sit there and say, especially those of us that find ourselves in public sectors. whether you work or you don't work, please, we are not doing that. I like someone saying that I'm an engineer and I sell cleaning material. Yes, we are networking. We started from here. So colleagues, friends, sisters, let's go into the chat and see some of these things. But yes, what I'm saying is that we get this opportunity all the time. Look at these beautiful women that we meet on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, online, offline, and we are not taking advantage of them. But that brings me back to commitment to excellence. And then the Lord says, whatever you do, work at it with your heart, as if working for the Lord, not for your earthly master or for yourself. So you can imagine, that's Colossians, I am very sure, telling us that wherever you find yourself, commit to excellence. You are supposed to be filing papers, and they bring it, and you are sitting there, and you know that this document is supposed to go to file A. Anyway, he said you are filing papers, so you take it to file B. After all, when I'm not there, somebody else will come and look for me. I don't care. Please, so commit to excellence wherever you find yourself, because someone is watching you. Even the young ones are watching you. They are learning from you. Older ones are watching you. People are looking at you. And then when the chance or the opportunity comes, they are the ones that are going to mention your name in places where you yourself, your foot have not stepped there. They are the ones going to say that this girl can do it. This man can do it. This person can. People are watching you. Commit to excellence wherever, ever you find yourself. The work I do now, Ajwa is aware. I've spoken to her quite a bit about it. In so many areas, it's not rewarding. But she decided to point me to the rewarding parts that me, myself, I was not even noticing. And she said, you need to do it and do it well, because you don't know which other doors is even going to open for you. And so you can imagine, I do it like that. And truly, the doors that is even opening for me in so many areas, I cannot even comprehend. But then that will bring me to the last thing I will say, our relationship with God. When I was in that political organization, and I see a colleague of mine, former colleague of mine is here on there, also a friend of mine, so she knows a few of the issues. She herself has experienced some of them. When someone would actually sit on your promotion, when someone would go and massacre you somewhere, when someone would destroy you and that promotion would not come your way, when someone would say, oh, Rita, I don't think she has leadership skills. Are they way to me? Oh, Mama Emma Brantie Winnie. Oh, let us do this. So we'll be she's going to give birth. Then she'll come and say, no, but come maternity leave when we need the guy to be working. So you can see why all these things, gender inclusion, but we are not actually including the women. The promotion is there, but don't give it to the man, don't give it to you. After all, you're going to go on maternity leave. But the God factor, so your relationship with God, I'm telling you, no matter what, relationship with God, no dear. And you Psalm 37, one of my favorite verses, our favorite Bible chapters, the kind of things it tells you, you'll be shocked. I opened it. I hope it's still there and it's not closed, because I want us to even mention a few things under Psalm 37. Or say, do not fret because of evildoers, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Share. King David, the things that he went through, baby, Saul wanted to kill him. But whatever Saul did, obey king, right? So what I'm trying to say is that God is the one who will fight your battles for you. So we are going to be intentional about our personal development, but you cannot leave the fact that there is that personal relationship with God, which is an integral part of who we become and whether we are going to thrive in any space that we find ourselves. Look at the Bible. The Bible is telling you that commit to excellence. The Bible even is telling you commit to excellence. So you go and sit at the workplace, you commit to excellence, and you say they should promote you. Wow, what to be that? Can you imagine? We won't do that. The Bible also says, the same Psalm 37, say, trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Trust in me, or say, trust in me and do good. If you do that, I will do whatever it is that you want for you. It says, take delight in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. I wanted to thrive so bad at my workplace. Some of us grew up in the home where our mothers were helping their husbands. So we also want to help our husbands in the home. Your baby's diaper is finished. Yesterday, I realized that my girl's pull up is almost gone. So I'll wait and call my husband that, oh, back to be brave you. No. I would do it myself. It's the reason why we all want to also work and thrive in the spaces that we find ourselves, so we can also contribute to our homes. And that's why the Lord is telling us that if you take delight in me, I will give you the desires of your heart. He will give you that promotion that you are seeking for, that will help you contribute to your home. He will give you that scholarship or whatever it is that you are looking for. He would actually silence your enemies. Who did they do that? The guy that was in jail was Joseph. But look at how eventually he was brought from jail to come and interpret a dream. Look at the things that helped him. You can't dim his light if the God factor is in there. What I'm trying to say, that God is also a safe place. He really, really is a safe place, because we get drained. This past week has been draining for me. I'll be honest with you. I traveled and I arrived, and my husband is also not around, and I have to take care of the kids by myself, and work has piled up, and you need to come and do that as well. And you're also taking care of these little ones, and how draining that job can be. And I know most of us here experience this all the time. So you can imagine how sometimes you really, really need that fuel that rejuvenates you. And God is the only one that can fuel us. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I cannot say less. And if we give give ourselves the opportunity to talk about the God factor in our personal development, I'm sure we all have testimonies. We have so many things that we can say about what God can do for us to be able to thrive in any space we find ourselves. So when you are thinking about your personal development, think about how you are building your relationship with Christ. Are you paying your tithes? Are you fellowshipping? Are you going to church? Are you joining whichever ministry groups that you find yourself? Are you doing all the things you need to do? Are we building the partnerships that are necessary and strategic? Are we doing our part to our communities, to our spaces, the volunteer work? Are we doing that? Are we building our skill sets? It can be certificates, it can be knowledge, it can be knowledge acquisition, but whatever it is, what is it are you doing? Are we seeking out the mentors and the coaches? Are we committing to excellence? Very important. Are we networking? Proper networking. The next time we meet at Worthy Women in-person meetings, how many people are you going to walk to and talk to them and take their contacts and check on them and be friends with them? These are beautiful women that you can find beautiful friendships with. And I've found so many beautiful friendships with these women over at Worthy Woman. And it's because I didn't just go and sit there. I think I try, right? I try to be a bit intentional about my interpersonal skills, about interacting with people, about talking to them and being visible, so that they get to, oh yeah, Benedicta, thank you, I try. Yes, but I think I can do more. We can do better. So please don't take some of these relationships or these associations, these groups, these ministries, these fellowships for granted. And yes, your image. I know I'm not the best at some girl at my workplace said something to me. I don't know if you were sitting here watching me counsel, but it was so funny. And whatever it is, she was just giving me a comment. I took it as feedback and said, I try. But as for Madam Rita, dear, she will wear the nice expensive wig. Can you imagine? She said it's straight like that. And this is like I would say like my protege, my baby girl. I say, hey, is that how you are? But whatever it is, she's telling me that there's something a bit up with your image. So I'm trying to be a bit more intentional about that. I try to see if the wig has been fixed well and stuff like, yeah, the truth hurts. It really hurts, Benedicta. But I'm trying to be a bit intentional about it. So image for us women, people judge us by how we look. They assess us by how we look. Even before they listen to you, they've looked at you. You can be the smartest person with your PhD, all the knowledge and everything. You come and stand in front of them. They will size you up and down before they even listen to you. Our customers even watch how we dress. So appearance is key. With that said, thank you very much for giving me audience. There's so many things we can talk about when it comes to personal development, but I think that's a few that we've spoken about. Very, very key. Thank you. And I think now we can have the conversations. Conversations can begin. Makasa dodo. So we can have the conversations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rita. This is such a refreshing topic. We thank you for giving us all the points. I can't just imagine missing this session. It was really good. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sure everyone who is here is really blessed to hear this information. It will go a long way to help us in our careers, in our ministry, every aspect of our lives. So thank you so much, and God bless you for making time for us this afternoon. Even with a short notice, you made time for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, do you have any questions? Does anyone have any questions for Madam Rita?
Or maybe contributions
Any questions?
as well.
Yeah,
And
contribution. If you have anything to say, maybe you have a volunteer group, you want some people to join. If you want to let Madam Rita be your mentor too, you can see me behind the scenes. We'll give you the contact. You can contact her and she'll mentor you on what to do and what not to do. I think now most people in Wedoma will come to you.
Oh, sorry, my dear, sorry.
Oh, don't worry, go ahead.
On that, if any of these principles too are some of us have experienced it, and it has helped us in our various endeavors too. I think we can also add on so that the rest of us can
somebody can also learn something from that. Any questions, contributions? Somebody's asking for the recording already.
Hello.
Please will be shared, hopefully, very soon. Not today though, but will be shared later on in the week. Juliana, are you speaking?
Yeah. Yes, I was. I just want to say thank you so much for encouraging us this out. I find myself under the category of being I'm not so outspoken, and I always find excuses to get out of opportunities or chances that will make me speak in public. And listening to you, I realized that they are the very chances that I should grab at and stop giving excuses as to waiting to be perfect before I give it a try. So yeah, I thank you a lot. And I think I have a question about mentorship. So if you contact somebody about the person being your mentor, what is the next step? Because I think I've tried it a couple of times. I probably will speak to somebody to be a mentee, and after that, the conversation kind of dies out a bit because I don't know what to do or what she's supposed to do. So how does it work? Is there a way, or am I supposed to reach out to the person to can you please guide me as to this mentor-mentee thing? What role am I supposed to play?
Okay, let me just answer this one quickly. Juliana, I think the first person I reached out, I forgot to mention that, but the first person I reached out, I met that person on LinkedIn, and I'd been tracking her progress. An older woman, way older and everything, but she turned me down. Like, she is like, oh, okay, I would love to do that. That was it. I would send her emails. It got to a point I would send her messages here and there. She ignored me. So I realized that, yes, maybe she's not doing it out of spite, but she didn't really have the time, and she didn't also have the heart to tell me no. I was pretty young, and like I said, she was quite older. So my first attempt, I got bounced, but that was fine. I still found myself a mentor. And this late, I'll be honest with you, I think in seeking out mentorship, we should be prepared that the people that we are looking out for or we want to be under their guidance or tutelage, I'm telling you that these people might turn us down. Imagine you watch Samira Baumia and maybe how she conducts herself, etiquettes and all those things, and you say you want her to guide, and you can imagine you send her or contact her PA and stuff like that. You might never get the response that you're looking for. All I'm trying to say is that the time will come when some of the people that we seek out for might not be there for us. But one thing that you can do, if you have already contacted the person and the person has accepted and like you're saying, the relationship is some way, please take the person for tea. Take the person out for tea. Tell your potential mentor whether you can meet. If Oceano, you're busy, you do virtual tea. After the virtual tea, next time you can do in my mentor and myself, we did a lot of phone calls, Zoom, because you can imagine I reached out in 2019, 2020, we had what? Tea convo, yes. 2020. Oh my God. Yes, 2020, we had COVID, 2021. So most of our interactions were online. So we were doing virtual tea. I have my tea, she has a tea. We are doing our meetings and things. Eventually, when everything settled down, I was the one that invited her for tea. She made the time for me and we went. And we planned to meet. She's so busy. We planned to meet for like an hour and a half, but we ended up spending 3 hours. And I keep telling the people that I meet, like the national service and interns that come, that tea, you can drink it in your house and in your office. In tea, when you really want to reach out to someone, sometimes in a very, nice setting and not really rigid like that, and invite the person now for tea, nice hotel. Maybe I know I spending 40 Ghana for the 2 cups of tea that, or the pot of tea that the 2 of you will share. By the end of the day, the person has respected you and also realizes that you're also intentional about the relationship or whatever partnership or collaboration that you are seeking for. So if you have already reached out to this person and your conversations have been a bit cold or stale, revive it by inviting the person out for tea. Or excuses here and there, and let's do the virtual tea. If the virtual tea eventually doesn't happen and you are not really moving forward in that relationship, my sister, let's move on and look for another mentor for you. There are other people who want to mentor people, who will give you the same guidance that you so need. So these are some of the things I think we can talk about, and I'm sure a few of our people here have also experienced some of these things, and I'm very, very sure that a time will come. Maybe this one I'm pitching it. Maybe Madam Ajua through some of the interactions and things, or Pastor Elias through some of our interactions might probably treat a proper topic on mentoring and mentorship, so that we can pick out all the needed skills that we need and all the needed information. But we should bear it in our minds that relationship is actually mutual. It should be mutually beneficial. You want something from that mentor, that's why you're going there, but you should also be ready to offer something. See, we a young person, now the social media presence is not going too well. You can offer to manage that person's social media presence, and that time the person is pouring into you, you are also doing something for them. It makes it easier for some of these relationships to be built and harnessed. So let's consider some of these things when we are seeking out mentors as well. What can you also do for your mentor?
Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
So I have a question. Hi, my name is Miranda. So it's more on the mentorship as well. And the same thing as Juliana said, I reached out to somebody as well. But that person seemed, we are kind of a distance family. But then I didn't get any response back. So for mentorship, is it better for that person, for you to be in the kind of like same sex? So whether that person is also a woman, and then they can relate more to you. So I'm a mother, so because they're a mother and a career woman, and also have excel in their careers, would that be best, or look for more of a man that has excel and you've actually seen their journey and you're kind of impressed by how they've worked through their careers? So would you say is best? And also like family members, is it good to reach out to family members that you think that they can also help you to their goals? And I know like in Africa, like with family members that have really achieved or have moved up the ladder, they are kind of hesitant about reaching out to their family members, and it's understandable anyway. So I get that part, but do you think that is also advisable?
Okay. I was trying to actually look out for the information I sent to so I'm in this women academy as well, where is through a vision of a friend of mine. So this was one of the strategic partnerships. So I knew her when we were in university, and now she has an academy where she's mentoring women. So she's brought me on there as one of the mentors. So I currently have 3 proteges or 3 mentees under me. And yesterday, was it yesterday? Either 2 days ago, I met for tea. Please pardon me. It's not everyone that loves tea. I love tea too much. I met for tea with one of my mentees. But before that, I had given them some questionnaires and stuff like that to fill because I need to know in which areas they need me to assist them. So with what you're saying, for instance, before you seek out any mentor, you should know exactly what you are looking for, your priority areas. If you are able to put something down, because you've identified a gap or a lack, and that's why you are seeking out a mentor. So you can put those things down, pros and cons. You know that you want a mentor, maybe to help you in your professional space. One of them said, build my confidence. I want networking opportunities. And I want, there's a key things. I want advice on certain key. She listed about 3 or 4 of the areas that she was looking out for. And so in that case, she knew what she was looking for. And I'm sure that's why she joined that academy. And of course, the women that my friend brings on board are women from various backgrounds, and they have a way of pairing them. And funny enough, these 2 women, and out of the 3 ladies that I have, 2 of them are coming students in communications and journalism school. So it's funny. I'm like, okay, more bad, because now I also have something that I can actually share with them. But what I'm saying is that you need to make that plan, or you need to put down the information, list the areas that you think you need assistance or you need guidance. That would help you know. So sometimes it can even be the work-life balance. How do you want to manage and balance your life? And that is why maybe you seek out the same sex, because you know that this is a woman who is thriving in her career space, and at the same time, who is thriving in her career space, and at the same time is also a mother and a wife, and she knows how to juggle and she knows how to manage her home very well. And I think that I would actually be, I would have them, like a whole package if I seek out this mentor. I have nothing against having the opposite sex as a mentor. There are very honorable men out there. There are very respectable men out there who are not going to take advantage of the women that work with them. We all know that, yes, there are experiences where people would hit on you and give you all sort of problems and stuff like that. But it's why whenever you are starting a mentorship relationship, it's also advisable if you decide to seek a male mentor, that you need to be in safe spaces, or spaces that is devoid of any temptations or any issues. But what I can say is that you can have the opposite sex as your mentor. It depends on what you are looking for. If that person can offer you those things, please go for it. But just make sure that you guys start your relationship based on some principles and some trust, and you know what is it that you are doing. There's nothing wrong with a man mentoring a woman, or a woman mentoring a man.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, I have a question too.
Okay, yes, please.
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi, Rita. How are you?
Thank you. I don't know who is talking though.
It's Thelma.
That's why their voice sounded so familiar.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all you've shared. So, my question is also on the mentors. I want to know what you think about virtual mentors. I'm asking because I have been on the lookout for a mentor myself. I haven't found one yet, but I happen to follow a couple of people that I really admire, especially in the area of business. I haven't found the woman, the ideal, maybe that's why I haven't found, but that's Proverbs 31 woman to mentor me. So I've been following the likes of like Tara Square, for instance, Tony Elumelu in Nigeria. I see their progress in their big business. And for me, I also like the fact that they mentor indirectly, in that I can't talk to them one-on-one, but very often, they put out quotes on, career, what to do, this whole thing about developing yourself, putting yourself out there and all of that. But then is there a disadvantage to this, especially because you don't have that one-on-one, the person doesn't know you, to, open doors of opportunities for you? Because obviously something has to come out of that the mentoring relationship. Would we still call that mentoring? Or it's just admiring from a distance? Secret admiration.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, Thelma. I'm sure this person or these people that sometimes we follow, I think somehow they impact our lives regardless. That's why I think a lot of people are being cautioned to actually seek out wholesome content on the virtual spaces and social media that we find ourselves. Now, virtual mentoring is very much alive and it's something that is really like happening a lot these days. And look at me, the space I find myself is in the international space. And there are so many people that I have identified that I know that, oh, this person, the way they conduct their business and their work, maybe somebody whose guidance I can have. And so some of these people too know that people want to aspire to them, and it's why they are intentional about the sort of content that they put on their handles and their platforms and things like that. Give people the opportunity that if you can have a one-on-one guidance from me, I can give you that guidance through the content that I put there, and you can learn from it, and it can help you. The only thing about some of these relationships is that it becomes one-sided because you are unable to ask them questions about certain things that you want to ask them. So you might not be that fulfilled when you are seeking out virtual mentoring because it's one-sided. They are communicating, but you're not getting the opportunity to also do what? Communicate or ask your questions. My mentor, for instance, I realized that I was not the only one who had been seeking her out. A lot of people had been contacting her. So I think eventually what she did was start a channel, a podcast on leadership that she put out there, and she's using that to virtually mentor people. So she puts out the key principles and information that people need. So if you subscribe to her channel, then that means indirectly she's mentoring you or she's mentoring you virtually. So Thelma, the virtual mentoring exists. The only thing is that at a point in time, it lacks something because you are not able to get feedback. And the mentoring that we usually have with people is also us sharing the kind of things that we do, our strength and our weaknesses, the progresses that we are making in areas, and then they give you feedback or advice or help you. They even help you sometimes even seek out opportunities and things like that. Some of them can even go a long way of proofreading some of the things that we write and stuff like that. I mean, when you've gotten to the point where you build such a beautiful mentoring relationship, you can get some of all these benefits. They can look at your CV and say, you can't have 5 pages as a CV. Your CV now should be a maximum of 3 pages. They help us with all these things. So the mentoring or the virtual mentoring does help, but it's one-sided, and eventually something lacks and it might affect you because you might not fulfill the kind of relationship or the gap, close the gap that you are seeking to close. And so you can still maintain that, but if you still feel that there's an area in your life that is lacking, such as the business aspect that is lacking, it'll be better to seek a mentor that you can actually build a relationship with. And it's even the virtual mentoring. One of the key things that you can have a mentor who is in the US, or you are in Ghana, or is in Morocco and you're in Ghana, but it's still a good mentoring relationship is because you guys meet only on virtual platforms, phone calls and all those things. But the bottom line is you get feedback. You're able to communicate. So some of those relationships exist virtually. But I think the key thing to look out for is how are these people also giving us feedback to progress in our lives, to know whether we're actually moving on or we are still stagnant and we are probably not picking anything. So maybe, yes, the virtual one is still good. We all do it. I like it. I do that a lot now. But I think it would be better if you also seek somebody who can actually give you at least some sort of attention, and you are able to pick key principles from that person and then tell them what you are also looking for and then seek feedback from them.
Thank you.
Hello, Rita. I don't know if you've addressed this. Someone is asking for the academy. If you can share the academy with them.
Oh, yes, it's Obasima Academy. I mean, I can give more information to our convener, maybe Pastor Elias, and then and then this person.
I think the lady is from Worthy Woman, so.
Oh, Worthy Woman, and they said they're easy. We are sisters, so I'll give it to Madam Ajua, and then and then I know that she the first cohort of this academy have already been, assigned and started, but she's looking to bring in a second cohort. So we can always work around that. I'll give all the necessary information to Madam Ajwa, and then we can take it from there.
Okay. Thank you. Any more questions, please? If there are no more questions, I would like to introduce this school to everyone. This is City Harvest School. We hosted Madam Rita for this session. And we are a community that seeks to train students with a divine mandate to prepare the people of God for the Lord's harvest in this generation. So it is our honor to help people prepare for their life of Christian ministry to glorify our Lord Jesus, the Lord of hosts and the Lord of harvest. So if you are interested, you can contact me. My name is Sharon. You can contact me behind the scenes, or you can ask Adjoa for my contact, then we can add you to the school. Thank you so much, Madam Rita, and thank you to everyone who joined this afternoon. We are grateful for your presence. If we called on you and you didn't come, it would have been a different case altogether. Thank you so much. God bless you, Rita, for your time and for everything. Whatever you shared, the nuggets, we can't go without it. So we'll make sure we'll take it along as we go. Thank you, and God bless you and your career and everything that you are doing. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, people, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.